Hey, what's up boys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going down the river and I'm going to be catching some crayfish. Now if you didn't know, in Britain unfortunately there are a lot of American crayfish in our rivers. They kill off the British crayfish as well as they damage the river, and also they kill the fish as well and have lowered the fish populations in our river as well. So basically, as long as you kind of get permission of the landowner, you're allowed to go down and catch crayfish if you want to, and I like to do it, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now I already have two nets in the river ready to go. One of them is a cheap net that you can get for around about £5, and the other one is the most common net that I have, which I'll show you in a second. I've got more of them, and that is a more expensive one. It costs about £10, so it's double the price, but they are much better quality and also a much better design as well. Obviously there are benefits to both of them, which we'll show you when I get down there. So as well as pulling out them two nets, I'm going to be setting them two nets back in the river, and I'm also going to be also setting another 5 crayfish nets that I've bought recently off Amazon, and that should be interesting, okay, and see how many crayfish we will get. So this right here is one of the crayfish nets that I have. Now this is pretty small at the minute because it is kind of, this is its storage state, I would describe it as. So it's basically, this is how I would put it away, but it all expands when I get down into the river. And this is the bait. This is from Morrison's. This is tinned chunked tuna, okay, pretty cheap stuff, and I bought it in bulk, so I have loads of it. And yeah boys, that's basically it. That's what I have for bait, and that's what we're going to be doing, so let's go. So on the way to pick up the other nets, I'm going to set one down here because I've got so many of them. I might as well set some up along the way as well. This is not the most ideal spot, and I'll explain in a second, but you can kind of see the river behind me, and I'm going to show you what we do to the net right now. So this is the net fully expanded. You can see there's a small zip right there, and that's where you put the food, and that basically stops the crayfish from being able to eat the food. If you put the food into the main compartment, then the crayfish can get at the food and eat it, which will stop other crayfish from getting in and at the food and going into your trap because it's already been eaten. So let's say if you put it into the main compartment and it gets eaten, you'll only be attracting crayfish for an hour and a half to 2 hours, you know, whereas if you put it into a bit where they can't get it like this, it will ultimately stop them from eating it, and it will attract crayfish all night long, which is exactly what you want. I've got it tied off to this stick right here. It actually came with a knot that's already ready to go. Hopefully that's in focus. I don't think it will, but basically it's a knot on that stick, and we're going to be putting that in the ground, and it's tied off to the crayfish trap. Now it's very important not to tie the string, if you do have to add more, onto the main zipper right there, because if you do that, then it could open your trap if it moves in the river or whatever. You want to tie it to the main base of the crayfish trap like that, okay? What?
And I when you do like finishing all of it, tell me like.
Yeah.
Tell me once you finished it, alright?
Yeah. So I'm just scraping it out with a stick at the minute, and yeah, just putting it inside that pouch. What I normally do is just put it inside the can and put it inside the main trap, but I definitely saw the flaw in that after the food was eaten pretty quickly last time, I would imagine. And it's just all the stuff that you learn with time. There is a pouch there for a reason, and yeah, this will really work well. In terms of bait, you can really use anything that's meaty, anything like bacon, sausages, anything like that works really well. But tuna chunks, you know, it's super cheap, it's super easy to use, you know, it's contained in a can beforehand, and yeah, it's really good. And yeah, it's probably the best. If you do want to load up the crayfish trap more, you can put bait inside the main trap, but as I said, that gets eaten pretty quickly. So whatever falls onto the ground, I'm just going to put it in the trap, and hopefully that'll get some more crayfish right there. Okay, I'm just about to put it in right now. I'm going to put the stick in the ground and then throw it in. Unfortunately, this river is quite fast flowing. You can probably see that, which is not the best. You probably want it to be a little less fast flowing than this, but the water is up as of recent, which is not the best situation, but it's okay. I'm pretty confident that's not going anywhere. It is pretty fast flowing, but that could affect it, but it's not going to be that bad. So yeah, that's the first one done. And yeah, let's go. Hey, what's up there, boys? Welcome back. It is the well, it is 2 days later, and I'm walking down. I wanted it to be only 1 day later, but unfortunately for me, I was busy yesterday. It hasn't been raining, so it shouldn't affect it at all. The traps are designed to be able to keep the crayfish in no matter what. Okay, it should be able to keep them in even if you know, they've run out of bait and they have no reason to be in the traps anymore. We're just coming up on the first one, and we'll see what we can do. I just heard a fish actually jump out the water. This is not the best place. This is actually the first trap that I put in, and I did actually record a little bit more, you know, but unfortunately for some reason the clip's not there. Either I didn't press record or whatever happened, the file corrupted, I don't know. But basically, you saw me set one trap, I set the rest of them, and now we're going to go and pick up the we're going to go and pick them up and see how many crayfish we have in. So I'm excited. So yeah, first one's just down here. I can see the string. See how many we get, if any at all. I have got traps in the past where I've got none. It's not something that doesn't happen. So remember, we sacrificed a whole tin of tuna, and if we are trying to get a return on investment, we need more than a tin of tuna back. And it looks like we definitely have some crayfish in here. Yeah, we do. We have quite a few in there. Not as many as... Oh shoot, they totally ripped it. Hang on guys, I think they've ripped open my bait bag. But we got a few in there. Hopefully you can see that. I'll show you them all when we get home in better lighting. But yeah, first trap, not too shabby. It's not disappointing by any means. So that trap is not bad whatsoever. Definitely is not a bad score. What I personally do, I don't like to carry a bucket around. I'm going to the second trap now, but along the way I don't like to carry a bucket around with me. I just like to get a bag, and they fold up and all fit inside this one bag. And because it is a plastic bag, it tends to keep in a lot of the moisture. And crayfish don't need to be submerged to be able to breathe. They just need the gills to be wet. Hang on 1 second, I'll just keep going. Actually, the stick is dragging on the floor from the trap. We're just coming up on the second one here. I'll set the camera up and then get it out. So this one is down in the water somewhere. Oh, I nearly fell over. Down in the water somewhere. There, I can see the wire. I'm gonna record like this. You can maybe see the wire down there. Just trying not to break my camera. This one, you can see that's slightly sticking out of the water. This is a lot less fast flowing. You can see the bubbles along there, very fast. But then if you come down here, it's quite calm, the water. So hopefully there'll be a lot of crayfish here. Okay. As I said, this is the second one put in. Feels pretty heavy. Yeah, you can definitely, I can see some already. You can see they're quite distinctive. Oh, not many at all. Not many at all. Maybe it's a weather changing, but I think we've only got 2. No. We've got a few more than 2. No more than 10 in there, which is very disappointing. Not the best situation, but it is what it is. On to the next one. So I'll make my way to the next trapping spot. It's a bit different. It's a bit away from these 2, and hopefully because of that we'll get some better results. Not totally disappointing, but definitely not the biggest return on investment with them 2 tins of tuna. But it is all for fun. Remember, guys, as well, you know, we're not trying to feed ourselves here, we're just trying to have fun and do what I like to do, okay? So it's a couple of days later, guys. I've had the crayfish in a bucket of clean water for a while, which will clean the crayfish out. Essentially, when you put them in a clean bucket of water and they have no access to food, the water kind of cycles around the body. They poo out any food that they've got in them, which would be probably the tuna that we put in the traps. And yeah, essentially the water just cleans them over time. I'd recommend putting fresh water in every now and then. Now the past couple of times I did this, the crayfish actually started to die, and I hope they haven't today. It's been really cool for them. We've had them in the shade, so hopefully they're okay. But I haven't checked them in a while. I've been too busy, and you know, it's a shame that they do die in that manner, because I do want to potentially eat them, or at least try them. I have done that in the past and they've been nice, they've been fine, as long as you clean them out properly. And yeah, basically we're just going to see if they're still alive and potentially cook them if they are. Okay, so let's go. So here is the bucket. We're going to tip it out over this gravel. They don't look alive, I'm not going to lie. You're probably going to see a lot of corpses. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, they're not alive. That's such a shame as well. You can tell they're not alive because I'm just going to zoom in here. Because if you have a look there, you can see at the back, that's kind of not attached anymore, that little bit right there. Where the tail connects to kind of the upper body of the crayfish, that's not attached anymore, and obviously they're not even wiggling around, but that's instantly how you can tell. You see, that's not attached, and they cannot be eaten at all. Okay, now that obviously makes me very upset. I do want to give these creatures the best kind of send off that you can. You want to make it super quick. They are invasive, so they do need to be removed. They are harmful, unfortunately, to our rivers. And yeah, but they're not doing it on purpose, okay? They don't wake up and think, how can we really mess up the river system in England? They just were transported here because they were doing what they do, you know, they're animals, and they don't deserve to be you know, killed like that, I would say. So I do need to learn how to properly take care of them whilst cleaning them. But from what I heard on the internet and everywhere else, it was just super simple. Just leave them in a bucket of water for a while and they should be fine. And they're not, obviously, and I don't know why. So if you are doing this, maybe don't put as many crayfish into one bucket as I did. You know, there's probably around about maybe 100 crayfish in there, you know, 75 to 100, and that's quite a few for just a small bucket like that. And I think what is happening is the water is running out of oxygen and they are dying because they have no oxygen, which is not a good death at all. If you are trying to kill these but you don't want them to die inhumanely like I do, you can just boil them anyway. If you get like a boiling pan of water, you get it really hot, you get it ready to go, and you just dump them all in it really quick, they will be dead within a second or two and they will feel no pain at all, okay? Or at least a minimal amount of pain. You know, they are creatures that need to be exterminated. They are pests at the end of the day. They're like wasps or you know, bees or something. If they get into your house, you're going to exterminate of them, even though they are innocent creatures. They're not doing it on purpose. You know, they're not trying to piss you off by nesting in your house. They just do it, okay? And you know, you have to kind of get rid of them, unfortunately, and disturb them. You maybe can transport them somewhere else, but we're not going to take these back to America, guys. They have to be killed here in England. I can see one or two moving around, so yeah, I don't want to show you that again, but I guess I'm just going to put them in the bin now, and whatever ones are still alive, I'll just dispose of them somehow. I don't know, I haven't thought about that yet. But yeah, probably get more buckets and don't put as many into each bucket because they die for some reason, probably lack of oxygen. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. It's a shame you couldn't get to see me eat them. I'm definitely not going to be eating the ones that are still alive in there because, you know, the amount of bad stuff that's probably in there, you know, it's the amount of like rot and horribleness is probably would kill me if I ate one of them. So you have to really respect the fact that they are dangerous if you don't like prepare them properly, and cleaning is a major part of that. You can't just get, especially in England, the water in my rivers, in the river that I live near, has sewage pumping into it, okay? It's dirty. You have to clean them. If you don't, you could get very ill. So, you know, it's it is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully next time we get some, we can eat them. And yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you did learn something from this kind of video that spanned over a couple of days. All the nets are actually down here. I've still got some in the river. I couldn't find them. I've still got 2 of these big nets in the river. You know, we have to go and get them because you don't want them destroying the river or causing any harm to any wildlife. So yeah, see you guys in the next one anyway. Peace out.